Paramahamsa Parivrajikacharya Astotara Sutta Sri Srimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnu Pad Paramahamsa Parivrajikacharya Astotara Sutta Sri Srimad His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Goti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Shri Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Go Gopinath Shamakunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhana Ki Jai. Vrindavan Dama Ki Jai. Mayapur Dama Ki Jai. Jamuna Mai Ki Jai. Ganga Devi Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Srimate Tulsi Maharani Ki Jai. Gaur Premananda Hari Hari Bol. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद से अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की श्री राधा कृष्ण को गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरिवर्धन की जय, वृंदावन धाम की जय, नवद्वीप धाम की जय, स्वामी तो भक्तवृंद की जय, गंगा माई की जय, यमुना माई की जय, तुलसी देवी की जय, भक्ति देवी की जय, स्वामी तो भक्तवृंद की जय. All glories to the Assembly Lord. All glories to the Assembly. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So this morning's Srimad Bhagavatam class will be on the 7th Canto, Chapter 6, Verse 9, recorded on the 25th of June 1976 in New Vrindavan. So that's the Canto 7, Chapter 6, Verse 9, recorded on the 25th of June 1976 in New Vrindavan.
को गृहेषु उपमान सक्तम आत्मानं अजितेन्द्रिया स्नेह पाशै दृढ़ै बध्यम उत्सरेतं विमुचित. Actually, this material life is our bondage. It may be just like gold handcuff or iron handcuff. So, handcuff is bondage. Either it is made of gold or iron, it doesn't matter. So, we are in this material world, handcuffed, imprisoned. Our aim of life is how to get out of this material bondage or prison house. Prahlad Maharaj in another place, when he was asked by his father, what's the best education he had received from his teachers? The father asked him to explain. So the son, Prahlad Maharaj, said that Hityatmaghatam grihe andakupam vanangato jad harimasare. This is the best thing he has learned. What is that? Hitya atmaghatam griha andakupam. Griha, this family life is called Grihanda Kupam, just like a man fallen in the dark well. So it is sure death, atmaghatam. Unless we are very cautious, this Grihanda Kupam, this family life, is very dangerous for spiritual advancement. Therefore, according to Vedic system, it is very regulated. First of all, one is trained up as a brahmachari not to be attached in sex life. That is brahmachari. Celibacy. Just like these boys, these children, if we train them how to remain in celibacy, they can be trained up. The first training is brahmachari. To remain in the Gurukul, they are innocent. As you will train them, they will be trained up. So in the beginning of life, to train the children as brahmachari is essential. The fact is that one may not be attached to sex life. Sex life only allows to beget children. That's all. Putrati kriyate bhajya, putra pinna prayajanam, punnamaktrati iti putra. These are the Vedic injunctions. Bhajya, wife, is accepted. Putrate, only for having good children. In the Bhagavad Gita also it is said, Dharma viruddha kamasmi. That's the sex life is when it is not against the religious principle, that sex life I am, Krishna says. Dharma viruddha. So, dharma viruddha, or which is not against religious principle. In this way, you will find, according to Vedic system, the sex life is practically denied. But because we are now in the conditioned state, it is very difficult to completely deny sex life. There is regularity. First of all, training, no sex life. If you can remain without sex life, the brahmachari, it is very good. But if you cannot, then get yourself married, live with wife, but have sex only for progeny, not for sense enjoyment. Therefore, even one is married, if he is sticking to one wife, and the wife is sticking to one husband, that is real married life. Then the husband is also called brahmachari, even though he is a grihastha. And the wife is called chaste. So this is human civilization, grihastha. That also allowed only for few years. Not few years. Formerly, as we have calculated, that people used to live for 100 years. So 24 years, 25 years brahmachari, 25 years grihastha, 25 years vanaprastha, and last 25 years sannyas. ultimately sannyasi training. So in these 4 ashramas, brahmachari, grihastha, vanaprastha and sannyas, in 3 ashramas there is no sex life. Brahmachari, vanaprastha and sannyas. Only grihastha allowed sex life. That is also restricted. Only for begetting children. So in the Vedic civilization, sex life is actually denied. Only in Grihastha life with a restriction. Not that whenever I like. No. That is bondage. So long we will be attached to sex life, then we will have to accept this material body. Janamai sanadi grihamedi sukham mitucham kannuyani nakarayu ribadikha dukham. We should remember this. But what will be effect unless we are trained? People are not educated. What is the value of life? How life should be conducted? What is the aim of life? But everything can be done. There is no difficulty. Just like a man practicing to lift, I think everyone you know, he takes on his back one small cup. It grows. When the cup becomes a very big bowl, one can lift. This is a practice. But all of a sudden, if you want to lift one big bowl on your shoulder, that is not possible. But if you practice to take the little cup from the very beginning, it grows and your strength grows. It grows, this is gradual process. So, the human form of life, the whole training is, that is Vedic civilization. How to avoid sex life. That is liberation. If I have got desire for sex life, somewhere or other, then I will have to take birth again in this material world to satisfy. So the training should be how to give up this idea. And it is possible, if training is there, then it is possible. That is the instruction of Prahlad Maharaj. Kaumaro acharit pragya dharman bhagavatani. From the very beginning, children should be trained up in this life. That is the responsibility, actually, father and mother's affection. But the father and mother do not know what is the aim of life. Neither they are trained up, how they can train up their children. But here is the prescription how to train up. So in this age, although it is very difficult task, at least if we teach our children to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, then everything is possible. That is the facility of this age. He will be gradually trained up to the highest perfection. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's benediction is there. Ya haite sarvasiddhi haive tama. Simply by chanting Hare Krishna mantra, you will get all perfection of life. So, either Narottam Das Thakur sings, Griheva banete thake ha gauranga bolira. So, don't be afraid that because we are in this age, we cannot be trained up, it is very difficult. But we can very easily chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. That is a special concession of this age. Just like these children were dancing and chanting. And it is the duty of the parents to train the children in such a way they get liberty in this very life. Father and mother, they should think of their innocent children, that this boy, this child has come to us. Now let us train him in such a way that he will get liberty. No more birth and death. This is real responsibility of father. Pita na sasya, janani na sasya, guru. Everyone's duty should be how to give relief the living entities from these clutches of birth and death. That is ideal civilization. So, Prahlad Maharaj said, if we don't train up in the beginning, then ko griheshu puman shaktam atma atmanam ajitendriya. Atmanam ajitendriya. The whole training is to control the senses. And the most powerful sense is the tongue. Sense control begins from the tongue. Bhaktivedanta Thakur has given you the song. Tara madhye jivavati labhamaya sudurmat. Bhaktivedanta Thakur gives a description that Sharira avidya jar, jarendriya tahe kal. This body is the encagement. We are in the prison of this material world. How we are imprisoned? We have been given a material body. This is imprisonment. Sharira avidya jar. And we are very happy to keep this body very comfortably without knowing the aim of life. That is avidya jal, a network of ignorance. Sharira avidya jal. And the senses are our greatest enemies. Unless we control the senses, we are put into this avidya jal network. And out of all the senses, Bhaktivedanta Thakur says, tar madhye jiva. Jiva means tongue. Jivavati lobhamaya sudurmati. It is very greedy. Jiva, to control the tongue. To control the senses means begin with the controlling the tongue. That is also a very difficult job. So therefore, to control the tongue, best thing is to take Krishna prasadam. First of all, offer to Krishna and then take. Tara madhya jiva rabhamaya sudurmati tare jeta kodhina samsa. Krishna varo dayamaya karivare jivaja. At least if we take it as a vow that I shall not eat anything which is not offered to Krishna, that will help us. Krishna varo dayamaya karivare jivaja. Saprasad anna dilo bhai. So, with tongue begins spiritual life. If we restrict our tongue not to talk uselessly, simply talk of Krishna or chant Hare Krishna, read Krishna books, chant Hare Krishna, and when you are hungry, take Krishna prasadam, then it will be possible. You can control the tongue. And if you can control the tongue, then you can control other senses very easily. That Bhaktivedanta Thakur has given very easy formula. Tara madhya jivavati lobhamaya sudurmati tare jetha kodhina samsare. Krishna varo dayamaya. Krishna is so kind that from Vaikuntha, he has come here, in this remote village of America. He's so kind, just to accept your service. Don't think that here is a doll. No, Krishna. Krishna, on the request of devotee, he has come. We should always remember this, that here is Krishna personally present. Just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it requires only advanced sense. When he saw Jagannath in Puri temple, immediately fainted. Here is my Lord. So, it is only advanced understanding. But preliminary understanding is that here is Krishna. Don't think that it is the doll. Even if you think it is doll, but Krishna has come to you in the form of doll so that you can see. Otherwise Krishna is always present everywhere. We cannot see. Or you can handle. Krishna is everything. So Krishna is so kind that he has come here to be seen by you, to be touched by you, to be dressed by you, to be decorated by you, to accept whatever you nicely offer with bhakti. Krishna is not hungry, or Krishna has no food at his Vaikuntha. No, he has got. He is supplying everyone food. So he has got everything. We should always remember that he has kindly come for our benefit. So let us be always cautious and very respectful and offering the nicest prasadam prepared with great attention. In this way, if we practice, then our life becomes very successful. Otherwise, we shall be very much attached because we are ajitendriya. We cannot control our senses. Very difficult. But if you take Krishna Prasadam, although apparently we are greedy, but on account of taking Krishna Prasadam, it is neutralized. That our greediness, by taking Krishna Prasadam, it is neutralized. Sneha pasvai, this sneha pas, sneha is there. Sneha means affection. Everyone got affection. The cats and dogs, they have got also affection. But the affection is wrongly placed. We are affectionate to the skin, to this body. So this is wrong affection. Real affection is to the soul. That we do not know. We have no information. We are loving our child. That's very good. But not the soul, but the body. If this someone other, if the child is dead or my father is dead, we cry, father has gone away. Why father has gone away? The body which you love, that is lying there. So we do not know whom to love. So if we love actually, let us love the soul. How the soul love? To love means for benefit. That is real love. I love you for your benefit. You love me for my benefit. If I so-called love you for my benefit, that is lust. So in this material world there cannot be love. It is not possible. Because everyone loves so-called love. He loves his sense gratification. A young boy loves a young woman for his sense gratification. not for harsh and devotion. Similarly, she also. In this material, this cheating is going on. I want to satisfy my lusty desire, but it is going on in the name of love. There cannot be any love in this material world. Because love is between spirit and spirit. But if we try to love the Supreme Spirit, Krishna, then we shall understand how our love can be spread in the spiritual world. Samas sarveshu bhuteshu mad bhakti labati param brahma bhuta prasannatma nasojati nakankati. Samas sarveshu bhuteshu. When you come to the spiritual platform, then actual love begins. Mad bhakti labati param. That love begins if we can love Krishna. Then through Krishna's love, we can expand our love for everyone. Jatha tarunmula nisechanena trippanti taskanda bhujopasaka. Just like watering the root of the tree, the energy is expanded to the leaves, to the flowers, to the branches. Similarly, if we want to love everyone, that's like we are coming, some patriot. Nobody loves nobody. That is all professional business. If we actually love Krishna, then we can expand our love. Patriotism, socialism, thisism, that, nationalism. Just like we are trying to spread this Krishna consciousness movement all over the world because on account of love. Somewhere or other, we have come in contact with Krishna, we are understanding that these people are in Maya or in ignorance. They do not know how to become happy. So our little attempt is, let them become Krishna conscious. This is out of love. Samas sarveshu bhuteshu. Everyone is suffering for want of Krishna consciousness. Therefore, we are taking so much trouble. This is at least one side that Krishna wants them to deliver. And if we work on behalf of Krishna, that is also love. We love Krishna. So, we have got everything in writing, in books, in instruction. Our duty is to take them rightly and utilize it properly. Advance in Krishna consciousness, sneha pasi. Otherwise, we shall be in a platform, on a platform of false love. The platform of false love, we know, today one pair is married, but because the love is on the false platform, the next day there is divorce. That is not love. But that kind of love has no meaning. That kind of affection has no meaning. It is simply bondage. So try to, our aim is how to become free from this material bondage and real sneha, real affection, real love should be spread, and that can be done through Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, it is all false. Sneha pasaidraivadhyam ussahita. This Maya is so strong that we are taking this false thing as reality. It is very difficult to give it up. That is explained by Krishna. Daivijjisa gunamayi mama maya dhruttaya. Mameva jappavaddanti maya. This is only the way. If we become pure devotee of Krishna, then my love will be extended to everyone. Not only my society, but to everyone. This is not that this is my children, that is others' children, all children, all human beings, not my countrymen, all other countrymen. Not only human beings, but animals also. That is sneha. It is not that I am safe and let the animals be killed in the slaughterhouse. No, that is not love. Love means for everyone. Sama sarve suddhu. Equality to all living entities. That is real love. That is real Krishna consciousness. A lover of Krishna will hesitate to kill even one ant. You know this story, Mrigari. That is love. Because one has got, just like this child, if I like I can kill him. There is no difficulty. But does it mean that I shall kill him? No. Similarly, a small ant, anyone can kill? No. Here is a living entity, part and parcel of Krishna. Samasara, he should not be unnecessarily ill. We should be careful, not that, trample over the ants and let them be killed. No, everything should be carefully done. Of course, we cannot stop this, but we should be careful, and if it is done, then if we remain Krishna conscious, Krishna will excuse Jagyatha Karmanatra. Therefore the business should be, if we walk at all, we shall walk for Krishna. Then, if some ant is killed, not knowingly, unknowingly, then we are untouched by these sinful activities. Otherwise we are immediately noted down. Here is a man has killed one, he has to kill. The nature's law is so minute. Every minute the account is there. But if you remain in the business of Krishna consciousness, then there is excuse. Otherwise, everyone is becoming obliged. If I take from you 1 cent, I have to pay you with 4 cents, with interest, compound interest. This is the law. We are just like taking money from others. Unless we spend it for Krishna, then we shall be obliged to return. So, Devarsi bhutaptu ninanga pisrena nayangarini na kinkara rajan sarvatmanaji saranang sarandam gatu mukundam parihuttu. We have got so many obligations, Devarsi, to the demigods, to the saintly great sages, Rishi, because Rishis are giving us, just like Vyasdev has given us this literature. So, we are obliged to him. We are indebted to him. We are indebted to the demigods. The sun is giving sunshine, the moon is giving at night shine, and the cloud, Indra, is giving us water. So we are all indebted. Therefore there are so many different types of jaggas mentioned in the Vedic literature. But if you perform one jagga, Sankirtan jagga, then you become clear from everyone's debt. Gato mukundam saranam saranyam. Then we are free from our debts. So in this way, we have to execute Krishna consciousness movement very carefully. And the simple process is chant Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. Amagyanatmirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurumilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Prabhupada ki. So we have got long, but thank you. Okay, so Srila Prabhupada covered Bhagavatam Canto 7, Chapter 6, entitled Prahlad Maharaj instructs, or Prahlad instructs demoniac schoolmates. And the translation of this verse was, what person too attached to household life due to being unable to control his senses can liberate himself? An attached householder is bound very strongly by ropes of affection for his family, wife, children, and other relatives. So, just like before, I sort of looked at these lesson by Srila Prabhupada and took out like 4 or 5 themes in the session. And I've sort of given them titles, each of these themes, to give us the content of what Prabhupada is telling us in his class. So the first one was bondage of this material world, the real responsibility, the network of ignorance, the kindness of Krishna, and the real love, like that. And I've sort of like expanded on each of these, and I'm sure you have many other themes, so those are just a few things that I've come up with. So the first one, he talks about bondage in the material world. He uses a very sort of graphic example about how we are bound in this material world. He uses a very simple example of handcuffs, yes. And what type of handcuffs? Iron and gold, exactly. So that's how we are imprisoned. And there's another sort of analogy that Prabhupada uses in this section about how someone is so fallen. Does anybody remember? Maybe ladies' side? Or anyone? He says that just like a man fallen in the dark well, so it is sure death, atmagatam, unless we are very cautious, this griha anda kupam, this family life, is very dangerous for spiritual advancement. So Prabhupada talks about that also. So then, how can we actually regulate this tendency to be bound? He goes through about how we can regulate our tendency for being bound in this material world. What can we do? What is it that we need to do in order to regulate ourselves? Yes, Sarana Prabhu. He says, first of all, one is trained up as a brahmachari, not to be attached in sex life. That is brahmacharya. Celibacy. Just like these boys, these children, if we train them how to remain in celibacy, they can be trained up. The first training is brahmachari, to remain in the Gurukul. They are innocent. As you train them, they will be nicely trained up. Yes, he talks about that. So this is all under the section of, or the theme of bondage in this material. Last 2 points he mentions about no sex life. Hence we have a whole regulatory principle dedicated to this specific act. And in how many ashrams there is no sex life? 3 ashrams, which are? Brahmacharya, Vanaprastha, Sannyas. Yes. And hence if we cannot give up sex life, then we have to take a wife, yes, and David Prabhu says, birth again, yes. And accept a material body, yes. So then he recites this nice verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. And then the next theme that I took away from this class was the real responsibility. What is, as Prahlad Maharaj explains, what is our real responsibility in this material world? What is the real responsibility of parents? What's the real responsibility of every living entity? To become Krishna conscious. I mean, yes, that's obviously the overall purpose. Yes, David Prabhu. Control the senses. Yes, from the very beginning, children should be trained up in this line as Prahlad Maharaj. This is Bhagavatam 761. The responsibility, that is responsible for actually the father and mother's affection. But the father and mother do not know what the aim of life is. So neither they are trained up, so how can they actually train up the children? This is what Prabhupada says, So then Srila Prabhupada goes on to say that we should train up the children to chant Mahamantra. So yes, Krishna consciousness is one thing, but obviously specifically to chant Mahamantra, because through the chanting process, the cleansing process starts to happen. Simply by chanting Hare Krishna, you'll get all perfection in life. That's what Prabhupada continuously mentions. Parents should be thinking, this boy, this child has come to us. Now let us train him up such a way that he will get liberty. No more birth and death. This is the real responsibility of father and mother. So this is what Prabhupada says. Pita na sasya, janani na sasya, guru na sasya, etc. like that in Srimad Bhagavatam 5.5.18. Everyone's duty should be how to give relief to the living entities from these clutches of birth and death. That is ideal civilization. So Prabhupada talks about, Okay, the next part, next theme I took away from this was the nectar of ignorance. Network of ignorance. Nectar of ignorance. You could see, could be some nectar in some ignorance. Yes, absolutely. I'm glad they actually woke everyone up from the slumber of this class, because I took a picture of earlier when I was sitting here, and I was thinking, okay, so everybody's in a samadhi at the moment. So yeah, the network of ignorance. Prahlad Maharaj continues to say, Atmanam ajitendriya. Right? So this part especially, the whole training is to control the senses, and the most powerful sense is the tongue. Sense control begins from the tongue. And then Prabhupada goes on to mention such a, everybody should be knowing this part about Bhaktivedanta Thakur's special song. Okay, Bhaktivedanta Thakur's special song is, everyone together.
Dharmade jivayati lava moishuturmati take je takatina samsare Krishna bada doya moy kori bare jiva jai swaprasana dilo bhai sayana amrita pao Radha Krishna guna gao premeda kuchitanitai enimai. Bhagavad Mahaprasadam ki jai.
Jai. Okay, let's go to Prasadam then, is it? Yes, this is it. This is what I mean. So, what does that mean? We chant it every single day. So, avidya jal, what does that mean? Nectar of ignorance. Yes, David Prabhu, everybody says nectar of ignorance. Hence the theme, network of ignorance, or nectar of ignorance. And so, what vow should one take to curb this network of ignorance? Sorry, is there no mic, or you maybe put your hand up and then you can say. Yes, Mataji over here. To only eat Krishna Prasad. Yes. At least if we take this vow, I shall not eat anything which is not offered to Krishna, that will help us. I will come to questions in a minute. Okay, last two themes. The kindness of Krishna. We just sang it just now, which means, what's the Sanskrit of the kindness of Krishna? Or Bengali in kindness of Krishna? Krishna Borodoya More. Yes, exactly. Krishna is so kind that from Vaikuntha, he has come here in this remote village of America. Such a remote village of America. He's so kind just to accept your service. Come to remote village of this planet Earth. Village of this planet Earth. He has come here to be seen by us in a form of a doll. Yes, in the form of a doll, or indeed everywhere. Krishna is everything. So Krishna is so kind that he has come here to be seen by you, to be served by you, touched by you, dressed by you, bathed by you, etc., etc. He goes through all parts of deity worship. So how is our greediness neutralized? In this section he talks about how our greediness is neutralized. Krishna Prasadam, yes, is neutralized by simply taking Krishna Prasadam. So we become greedy for many, many things. Even in Krishna consciousness we become greedy for many things, many items. We become for Krishna Prasadam. Everybody's following the Prasadam that's just going out there now. So the last part, the last theme that I came across is the real love. So what does sneha mean?
Affection.
Affection. Thank you, Karan Prabhu. Real love is not between two material bodies, but between spirits. Two spirits. Spirit and spirit, he specifically mentions. And the real affection is to the soul. Srila Prabhupada continues in this theme of reposing the senses towards the spirit soul by citing a famous verse from Bhagavad Gita 1854. 1854 Bhagavad Gita. Anyone?
Yavana Tatvata Tatoma Nandam.
I think Prabhu at the back got it, yes.
Brahmabhuta Prasanatma na Sochiti na Kangshati. Samasarveshu Bhuteshu.
Mam Bhaktim Labhate Param, yes. And he focuses specifically on the last line. He says, when we come to the spiritual platform, then actual love begins. Mad Bhaktim Labhate Param. And so how can we avoid the platform of false love? That's how he says it. And then the final part, then he comes back and brings it all together again, how he started by the gunas and that part. And he again quotes a very famous verse from Bhagavad Gita. Go on, Karan, I know you're dying to say it. Where's the mic?
Devyesha gunamayi mama maya duratya mameva ye prapadyante maya metam tarantite.
Thank you. And what does it mean in terms of this specific lecture? What does Prabhupada say after this? He talks about love means for everyone. Same sarveshu bhuteshu. He talks about that. It's not just for one person or my family or my country, or it's for everyone. Equality to all living entities. And he goes about not to kill animals, to slaughter houses and things like that. Okay. And anyone else want to add their reflections? Those are the things I got. Yes, Prayojana Prabhu?
Just to ask a question, actually.
Uh-oh.
Today's Ekadashi.
Aha, yes.
We offer the prayers. I've been told when I used to go to India very long, that we just say, Ma Prasadi Govindi Nama Brahmani Vaishnavi Svalpa Punya Varam Rajam Vishvasurnaya Jayate. And that's it.
Thank you, Prayojana Prabhu. Mm-hmm. And
because the other part refers to contact with grains, and now a lot of people don't understand this, that we just say the first part of the prayers on Ekadashi.
thank you. Was there some sort of reference there, Prabhuji, for this part? In India? Sure.
On Ekadashi, we don't say the second part of that prayer, just the first part.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. I mean, there are other meaning to anna. Anna also means foodstuffs, not just grains. Sometimes it's been translated. And so there are other parts of India also talk about how you can say it, but mean it foodstuffs. But yeah, there's two camps of these thoughts at the moment. Some parts, they say the full prasadam prayers, and others don't. So we take it how you would like to take it as for yourself, really. Whatever you feels comfortable on Ekadashi for you, then people can take that. Thank you. Yes, Saras Prabhu?
Thank you, Prabhu. How about this? Prabhupada was saying, there's no love here. How about that? I mean, it could be controversial, couldn't it? There's no love.
But there is no love, right?
In material life.
There's no love. That's true. He's stating facts.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it is.
That's why there's so many songs. That's why there's so many songs out there, material songs. Give me love, give me love. Everyone's searching for this love, and they seem to think they've found this love, but they don't find it. They're eternally unhappy because there is literally no position of love.
Extraordinary.
Say again? This is the thing. They don't know, because they don't know what is the real love. Yeah. Yeah. Anyone else? Okay.
I was actually thinking about the same, because then I realized it doesn't mean that in this life that we're living that you can't have real love, because once you become spiritual, love begins to manifest. So my question is, Prabhupada says, this controlling of the senses, or especially sex life in the material world, is very difficult to overcome. But with chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, it becomes very easy. Well, we see that, this is definitely true, because people have chanted Hare Krishna following the process, and they become pure devotees. But during this process, does it mean that the more trust and faith we have in the holy name, that we really firmly believe that this will get rid of all of my material desires, that will help us to chant more purely and to become more effective in our practice? Because even though uttering the name without being aware of the potency can still purify you, but once you become a serious practitioner, like a sadhika, is it really important for us to kind of know this and really, really have firm faith in that?
So thank you. So there are statements in there as well as some questions. Just like any process, whilst we are here in this material world, whether it could be educational processes or exercise regime or diet or anything, if we have faith in the processes that we are following and we have fully bought into it, then the effect of that practice will have profound effect on our consciousness. And our education from that would be profound also. So similarly, this process, though it's transcendental, we still are in this material body. We are trapped in this material body. So then in order to actually cleanse our original state, to come to our original state, we have to follow this process with ultimate faith, with so much concentration and without actual making offenses that have been prescribed, and fully being attentive to it, to the process. Then yes, by all means, guaranteed there is a purity in that process. And therefore, because we associate with that purity, the true ultimate purity, then yeah, absolutely we become that personality who is pure, who is the soul. And therefore all these other material aspects that we are trapped in doesn't make sense to us anymore. It doesn't come anywhere close to what our original behavior is, because we find that chintamani, we find that association with the spiritual side of ourselves, and then attach ourselves to the original service of the Supreme Personality Godhead, who is the Supreme Spirit. And therefore, when we follow the process faithfully, we follow the process with attention, the detail, and take directions from those who are following in that way, then we get guided. Yeah? Okay, we'll close it there. Thank you very much, everyone. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jai Gaur Premanande.
symptoms of love of God didn't manifest in her body until she controlled her senses.
Yes.
And that control was a bit heavy because it was like she'd only eat.
But in that class, that mention wasn't there.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just mentioning, bringing it up.
Because
that's how important it is. That's how important controlling the senses. But it's different for different situations.